Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about my process for making this little animation. This is based off Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 1, where the Tuskens and villagers help slay the crate dragon. Skip this part, and this Tusken finds the pearl, shows everyone, they all cheer. It's great, and it's really cute, and I thought it'd be great to animate. So I started with storyboarding. I don't know if you can see this. Just basically recreating the shots that I saw in the reference video. And this is what I came up with in Toon Boom. Kind of gets a story across, and everyone's cheering. Also did a character sheet and some facial expressions to basically figure out the look of these characters and
how they would perform and show emotion on screen.
And also putting all of my background characters under one peg so that I can rescale at any time if I want to. So I added this pan from the dead crate dragon's head to the Tuskens because I thought it would give a little bit more context. So change some things and add a little bit more poses. So at this point, I'm starting to animate, doing some key poses. So what I added here was that the main character starts pulling the pearl because the background characters were taking too much attention away from the audience. So if I make the main character try to pull the pearl out from the beginning, I feel like our eyes would kind of go towards to the main character, which is what I wanted. So at this point, I did some background tie downs, just developing where things are in the background. Next time you should add some perspective grids on the ground so that people's feet aren't sliding everywhere. And yeah, added some basically the in-betweens and animation for the background characters. The head turn was really fun for me, them shocked like that. Which was inspired by Worthy Kid's
Palpatine's Journey,
where he turns his head, and Zelinki's The Plan, where everyone turns their heads to look at the camera. And each individual character just doing their own little type of cheer was really, really fun. My favorite is the middle guy cheering by doing the sway. But yeah, I laughed out so hard when I was at uni doing this, and some people must have thought I was crazy or something. But so thank you, Zelinki. Thank you, Worthy Kids. At this point, I have background tie downs, and I started to paint. Paint the backgrounds, and this doesn't look very good to me, man. It's not visually coherent with the type of animation I was going for. And I think the issue was that I was so tunnel visioned into using my own special brush packs or whatever that I was missing the big picture. I spent a lot of time on this as well, about 3 hours, and I had to scrap it all. I ended up putting all of the background tie downs into one image and putting into a Photoshop file and just painting on top of it. Just a pencil brush and just getting down what colors I think are right. And from there, I would, develop it later and more, just constantly moving them into Toon Boom, out of Toon Boom, adjusting things. I think it was a much better way to work because you get to see all the backgrounds at once. You get to make the colors consistent, all the shading consistent. It's a lot lower level commitment if everything's low res and small. Next time when you're upscaling the final backgrounds, duplicate the entire Photoshop file and crop and then upscale the color scripts instead of exporting images, putting them to a new Photoshop file and trying to recreate the original layer organization. So cleanup and coloring is kind of boring and, not just, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
But I did this thing where
if you use Generate Automat, you can change the color that you use for Generate Automat into this disgusting green. And so when you color on the color layer on top of it, if there's any green that shows through, it means that there's holes in your color layer, and it's a good indicator to fill it up. You don't have to make a new color card and change that color card to green and turn off your background layers. You can just use the automat and isolate the layer by itself.
And turn off the underlay, sublayer, and layer settings.
Also did some things with the color palette. I duplicated the color palette of the Tusken, tweaked some of the colors a little bit, and assigned them to different Tuskens. Quick and dirty way to diversify a cast of characters, which are otherwise very similar. You just have to be very careful to
not accidentally color a character with colors from both palettes,
or else all things will go to hell. there's Parallax for that dragon. And I did this in Harmony where to change the Z space without fiddling with the top level camera, you can double click the layer that you're on and there should be an option in one of the tabs to change the Z axis. And that's much easier to change. And basically adding some shading. It's very simple, just a multiply layer. Put a blending node over it. Chuck some stuff into Premiere and After Effects and you got yourself this shot. Yeah. I'm going to go back to this part specifically where everything's kind of backlit. I did this because previously their guns and their clubs kind of blend into the background because both of them are very dark. I figured that by putting this linear color dodge layer in After Effects, it could add some separation between the weapons and the background. And that's basically it. I'm sure I missed some stuff and I will talk about it later in the edit. Oh, I forgot to, oh gosh, how could I? I started logging in how long this entire project took and what I've been doing per day. It all adds up over basically 2 weeks to 34 hours. And if you times that by $35 an hour, that will be $1,190. And I don't know, for 10 seconds of animation, that's kind of expensive, you know? I mean, backgrounds, coloring, character design, all that. Man, I don't know. That's seems kind of fair to me, but I could have probably done this faster without wasting time painting some dumb backgrounds. Whatever, you live, you learn. Next time, I'm sure I'll find some better ways to do things. But if this helps you, good luck on whatever projects you're working on. I don't want to ramble on too long, so thank you again, and goodbye.